Despite historic investments in affordable housing in Colorado, homeownership still remains out of reach for many people.
While the state has increased manufactured homes production by 687% over the last 3 years, Colorado's building codes, which vary from one city to the next, remain a barrier. Now, some state lawmakers want to remove that barrier. Your political reporter Sean Boyd is here. And Sean, every city has its own building code.
Yes, so we are talking about more than 300 different sets of regulations statewide. So, for example, one city may want all of the outlets to the left of the studs. Another may want them on the right. One builder told me it would be like asking automakers to use a certain type of paint in one city or a certain type of exhaust system in another. The more changes they need to make, he says, along the assembly line, the more the cost. This bill aims to change that.
We need to look at every possible measure we can to reduce the cost of housing.
Senators Jeff Bridges and Tony Exum say if Colorado wants more affordable housing, it needs fewer building codes. Nathan Peterson, owner of Videra Modular Homes in Aurora, couldn't agree more.
When you're talking about having a housing crisis, this is a conversation we need to have.
Peterson says factory-built homes, like factory-built cars, are all about efficiency achieved through standardization. But in Colorado, manufactured home builders have to change their designs based on 340 different jurisdictions, all with their own building codes.
Some counties will say, well, we want you to have metal soffit on your houses, and that's okay. But then the next county says, we don't want that, we want non-vented metal soffit there. And then yet another county will say, we'd like it to be hardy, cement board.
A bill by Bridges and Exum would create regional codes instead.
The way I look at it is there's 336 dots out there, jurisdictions. And we're like, you know what, you 80 are kind of the same. Can we put a circle around you? And can we just say, this is what you're gonna be?
He says going from 300 codes to maybe 10 would mean more production and less cost. Nationwide, manufactured homes run about 20% less than those built on site. In Colorado, the savings is about half that.
A lot of the factories from out of state, they don't like to send stuff here because it's a pain. So one of the things that this bill does is it gets us a lot closer to how other states structure it.
The Colorado Municipal League, which represents most of those 300-plus cities, opposes the bill. It wants more local representation, fewer manufactured home builders on the advisory committee that would help develop the new regional codes. It also wants the codes limited to residential, not commercial structures. But Senator Bridge told me for regulatory purposes, commercial projects include apartments and condos, which represent half the manufactured home builders business, and which we certainly need more of in this state. The bill did pass its first committee in the Senate today, 5-2, and it does have the backing of Governor Polis, so I think a pretty good chance of passing.
All right. Thank you for breaking all that down for us.
You bet.
Appreciate it, Sean.